Well, I was too quick to mock Spurs. Yeah. Way too quick to mock them. Yeah. Man United humbled us. How many more times are we going to be humbled this season? How many more times can we have that little rat, Jesse Lingard, dancing his way around the Emirates? The man moonwalked on the pitch, for goodness sake. Moonwalked! Last year he milli rocked his way around the North Bank. Now he's moonwalking at the clock end. Oh man. I'm kind of getting fed up of this feeling. I'm not. Please, don't take this the wrong way. I am not going at Unai Emery in this. Don't even try that. Because I'm not going to Emery. I'm not. I'm just pissed off, man. Realistically, we won't win the Europa League. But don't get me wrong, I would have loved to win it, but I'm a realist, and I just don't get that feeling. I just get that vibe that we're the nearly team in that this season. A bit like last season when we faced Atletico. We've got Bate Borisov coming up. Hopefully I'll be going to the home game for that one. I'm not so sure about the away one. That might be a bit of a stretch too far. But yeah. Yeah. Just disappointed, man. Very disappointed. I expected better. Yeah, I expected a lot better. Last year it was Nottingham Forest. This year it's Man United. Next year, goodness gracious me, I shudder to think. I shudder to think. But yeah, Arsenal are out of the FA Cup. We were humbled by Manchester United. We were humbled by Romelu Lukaku, somebody we've been mocking all year. 3 assists. 3. Count them. 1, 2, 3. The man was sat on the bench at the end of the game, laughing at us. A man who has only ever scored against Arsenal for Everton. Never for Man United. Never for Chelsea. And this man has sat on our bench. He's laughing at us. Ridiculous, man. We should not have to put up with that. But as I say, this video is not an attack at the manager. It is not. So before anybody wants to pipe up saying, oh yeah, but yes, you're mocking the manager and he's not good enough, you want Wenger back in. No, this is not a personal attack at Unai Emery. This is simply just me with a bit of a much cooler head on, kind of reviewing this game. And I'm not doing player ratings because, let's be quite honest, everybody was rubbish. I'm gonna waste my time doing that. I wouldn't be giving anybody over a 5 anyway, so you'll accuse me of being like Ty from Arsenal Fan TV. I won't be marking anybody over a 5, so let's cut to the chase and just say we have to go again now in the league. We've got Cardiff coming up at home on Tuesday night. I'm not sure if I'll be at that game yet. Have to review the situation, kind of how Tuesday pans out and how the rest of this weekend pans out. The plan is to be there, but as I say, just take it one day at a time at this moment in time. But yeah, man, it's disappointing. It was 3-1 in the league last season at home to Man United, and now it's 3-1 this season at home to Man United, but just the added thing that it's in the cup. We've got them at home quite soon. It's imperative that we beat them. We cannot allow ourselves to be beaten by them in the league and the cup. That would be disgraceful. It's the same with Spurs. We still have to face Spurs this season, and I was there at the League Cup game where we lost 2-0. So we cannot have a repeat of that. We cannot lose to Spurs in the league and the cup, the Carabao Cup mind, and then lose to Man United in the FA Cup last night, and then lose to them again in the league. We cannot allow that kind of thing to carry on. We cannot. I completely understand there is a transition period that a club needs to go through when you end up removing the man in charge and a lot of the backroom staff. I completely get that. Hence why I've made it clear that this video is in no way me coming for Emery's head, because it really is not. That just, I know you can criticize a manager and you can admit that he got things wrong. Yes, he got things wrong, but this is not an Emery out or anything like that, or what the hell was he doing kind of thing. It's nothing about that at all. Because at the end of the day, yes, you give the tactics, but the players have to carry that out. And if they're not switched on enough to carry that out, you cannot always blame the manager for that. Yes, a certain degree of it would be his fault, but I'm not going to sit here and say that 100% of last night's 3-1 defeat to Man United was Emery's fault, because it was not. In my opinion, it was 25-75. That 25 was Emery, that 75 was the players. Because the defensive performance, it's embarrassing. I cannot put this any other way. It just truly was embarrassing. You've got Shkodran Mustafi, a World Cup winner, and he can't defend? And I know some of you are going to say, oh, well, you know, he wasn't a pivotal player in Germany's team. Go back to the 2014 World Cup final and you'll find that Shkodran Mustafi played in that game. Exactly. Mesut Ozil, World Cup winner. What did he do last night? I know he came on as a substitute, but what did he do? What did he add to Arsenal's performance that could have boosted them in any way? Exactly. That silence is telling, isn't it? Because I can't give you anything to say. There is nothing to say. Aubameyang. A common theme that I'm seeing with other guys, whether they're just general Arsenal fans on Twitter, whether they're the guys I respect highly at AFTV, whether they're doing their own videos on their own YouTube channels, or whether they're on Robbie's channel, they all make a fantastic point. Yes, you have to be in that right place at the right time to capitalise on the situation in the manner that Aubameyang did. Fine. Perfect. That's what we wanted him for. But what did he do in the interim? What did he do before that? And what did he do after? Nothing. Lacazette. He tried. I'll give him that. Ramsey. The man's out of the door at the end of the season, and even could be in a situation where he finds himself actually being at the door by the end of this month. Granted, I know there's not much of this month left, but you never know what can happen in the crazy world of football. And while we get told one thing, you always know, especially with Arsenal, one thing is said, another thing happens. But he still gave his all. So why were players jogging back for the third goal? Why? Especially if you have just been brought on not too long before that goal was conceded. You have been given the allotted time to warm up, to do whatever you need to do to make sure that you are in the fit state that you need to be to compete in this match. So why are you jogging? Why is somebody who has been on the pitch for 80 minutes, 80 minutes, busting his backside to get back and try and stop the goal, but yet you have players who have been on for 10 minutes who don't want to do the same and follow suit? I don't get it. I loved Arsene Wenger, okay? But the minute that we beat Reading 7-5, that's the moment that everything clicked for me, and it made me realise there's a certain mentality in this club that is just toxic. Because you look back at that match, you look back at that team, we should never have conceded 5 to them. Ever. Now, I bring this up for the simple point as to say, those mannerisms, that personality issue, that mental trait is still there. Yes, it may not manifest itself in exactly that extreme way all the time, but if you look at the way we are playing, you cannot deny that that mentality is still there. It's just to a toned down degree. Yes, it reared its ugly head when we played Liverpool up at Anfield and we got smacked for 5 after scoring 1 and waking up the angry beast. But yeah, even though we haven't conceded 5 since, the losses that we've had since have been as painful. Simply because us as fans, and maybe even deep down the players, know we can do a hell of a lot better than that. You don't always have to concede loads of goals in a game for it to be classed as, you know, a terrible game to lose. Sometimes you only concede 1. On this occasion, we conceded 3. Again, we allowed Alexis to score. Now, if I start airing my opinions on Alexis Sanchez, I get the funny feeling that this video and YouTube will want nothing to do with me after this video. So I will reserve my feelings for Alexis Sanchez. Not because I like him, not because I'm giving him a free pass, but simply because I like this, I like what I'm doing, and I want to be able to continue with what I'm doing. Therefore, I'm not going to get into that because my views on him are quite strong and they're not nice. If you go from Arsenal to Manchester United and then you have the gall, okay, yes, scoring is your job, so you know it's inevitability that you may score against your former club. I get it, it happens a lot. But for you to celebrate and act in the manner that you did, I'm afraid you've lost my business there. I'm afraid you've lost me there. No time for that. I didn't give Van Persie a moment's peace, so I don't see why I should give Alexis a moment's peace. One in the same. I can't stand Van Persie, I can't stand Alexis. The two people, they did the exact same thing, so there you go. But yeah, man, we got Cardiff coming up. That's going to be an emotional game. Obviously, Emiliano Sala and Dave Ibbotson have not yet been found, as I'm sure you all know, unless you've been living under a rock. That's an awful situation, not just for the player, but also for the pilot whose family have now lost a husband and a father, you know? So, Salah, yes, that is extremely sad, but we've got to think of the pilot as well. There is new evidence coming out today about messages that were leaked from Salah's phone or an acquaintance's phone about what Salah was saying regarding the plane and the journey, and yeah, man, that's all messy. So I'm sure all of that would be cleared up for us over this weekend, over the various news bulletins. But yeah, man, that's gonna be a sad game. But we cannot let the sadness of what's happened overwhelm us when Cardiff come. We need to get a result. If we do not get a result, not only will Man United have beaten us in the FA Cup, but let's make no bones about it, I have no doubt that if we don't get a good result against Cardiff, they're going to leapfrog us in the league as well. And then from that, I find it very hard for us to come back at them because we just haven't got it in us this season. I thought we did with the 22-game unbeaten run, but maybe... It's not even maybe, actually, it is. It was covering a whole load of issues that have now reared their ugly head and come to the fore. It's hard.